Hello everybody, Shadane here with a brand new Skyrim character build for you guys yet again. Last couple days ago I posted a Vampire Hunter build, and that was a part of the two-part Dawnguard series of Dawnguard builds that I was making, and this is part 2 to it. So today we are going to take a look at the Night Stalker, also known as the Vampire, but I wanted to throw a little bit of a fancier name on there just to spice things up a bit. So we will jump right into the skills right away, then move on to the weapons and armor, and then stat spread and quest lines as usual. Alright, let's go. Now, first off, looking at the skills, there's actually, when I was doing my playthrough here, some of these skills I didn't even use. For example, Alteration, Alchemy, and Pickpocket. I didn't even use those three, but there's something that I would want to use, and if I did the build again I would include them. But let's move on to the official list, or whatever, however you want to call it, the skills for this build. So Sneak, Illusion, Conjuration, Alteration, Alchemy, Pickpocket, Enchanting. Now, I know another sneak build, nobody really has been complaining about that, but I do a lot of sneak builds, I've been realizing. So if you are kind of noticing that and getting sick of sneak builds, don't worry, I've got 2 or 3 builds planned that won't be sneak based in the future, so you might get a bit of enjoyment out of those. But we will be doing another sneak class for this one, and this is actually a really fun build, so give it a try. I mean, I know sneak, it's been kind of a theme lately, but go with it. This is a very magic based, we actually don't use weapons at all. As you can see here in the following skills, Illusion and Conjuration are the 2 main offense skills that you use, and I say offense with, if you see me right now, if you were to see me, you'd see quotations with my fingers, because they're not really offensive skills so much as passive, offensive. I'm not really sure how you would say that. You could say they're defensive too. I'm sure you've seen builds like this in the past where you use illusion spells like Calm or Fear or Frenzy, and you stay back and you hide, and then when one of them dies, you throw a raised dead on one of them, they come back up, and then you fight with them. I'm sure you've seen that before, but this is where the vampire throws in the little twist here. I also have Alteration for Detect Life and or Dead, as well as like the tiny little on the side spells that you might want. Alteration, I don't use Alteration all that much, like in any of my builds, but it's a nice thing to have for the little utilities on the side. Now here's where it gets interesting, is Alchemy and Pickpocket. Now ideally, these 2 skills, they go together more or less, Alchemy and Pickpocket. When I was doing this, what I was thinking with this, I haven't done it in the test, but what I want to try if I play this again, and if you do try this, let me know how it goes, but using Alchemy, you make poisons, and then you use Pickpocket to put the poisons in the enemy's pocket, and then it weakens them for your minions or for your frenzy. Or you could even put like buff potions, apply them to an enemy, and then frenzy that enemy, and then they go and they kill everyone or something. I don't know, just get creative with it. If you guys do try that, let me know though, because I would like to know in the comments below how it worked, because I might not do this other build. I have other builds to test. And then finally, Enchanting. Enchanting is always good to have. You can enchant your gear, get some magic on there, some extra magicka, or just whatever you might want, some extra health maybe. I didn't really use that one either because, you know, limited testing time, but I'm sure it would be a nice buff for the build. So let's move on now. Before we move on, I just wanted to mention that if you do hear a bunch of fans spinning around in the background, that's either my Xbox or my computer, because my computer's been running for like 2 days. I've been updating WoW, and my Xbox has been on for the past hour or 2 because I've been playtesting this build a bit more. But that's that. Anyway, let's move on to the weapons and armor. The weapons, this is quite a unique weapons list that I made between all my other builds. Undead minions, that would be when you're using Conjuration, you summon or you raise the dead creatures that you killed from your illusion magic or your poisons. Yeah, this list is kind of out of order, but that's alright. But another thing you could use is vampire form. You will be a vampire lord if you have the Dawnguard, which I highly recommend you do. and if not, why are you even watching this video? Because this is part of the Dawnguard series that I did. Anyway, you would use vampire form mostly when you're doing sneak stuff and somebody finds you. That's when I tend to found it the most useful. Was that proper grammar? I don't even know. Whatever. Yeah, so what I would do, my typical like combat scenario here would be when you go to fight someone, first thing right off the bat, get a frenzy in one hand, get an invisibility in the other. Frenzy the most powerful person in the room that you can find, unless they're gonna resist it. I mean, it's kind of you gotta judge through learning sort of thing, but you would do that, slip back, let them fight, and then once one of them dies, revive them with your conjuration. Then you have two people fighting for you. You have one fighting for you, you have one kind of just killing everything. And then what you would do afterward is, if you got caught, you would vampire form and just pretty much kill everyone instantly. Now again, I didn't use poisons, so maybe before you go and you do the illusions, you might want to like set up the field, maybe put a couple different poisons or potions inside people's pockets, and just, you know, turn the fight in your favor a little more. That's something that would be kind of interesting, but like I said, I did not try that, so don't take my word for it. But it would, again, it would be great to know how it goes if you guys do try it. As for armor, either the Dark Brotherhood robes or the Royal Vampire armor is what I threw on there. I went with the Dark Brotherhood robes in that one just because I feel like it fit the character a bit more. Not so much like the vampire side, but the dark side of it. The Royal Vampire armor doesn't look that dark or evil, but it does look very vampire and noble vampire-ish, kind of like almost a Dracula sort of thing. So it's really up to you. I preferred the Dark Brotherhood robes in my playthrough, but it's totally up to you. Let's move on. Okay, so the stat spread here: 3 magicka, 0 health, 1 stamina. I chose this because you need lots of stamina. You are a magic based character, and God knows what happens when you run out of magicka. It sucks. Even with my playtesting, I ran out of magicka so quickly because I only had about 300 magicka. I wasn't that high level, but at level 75 illusion, because I did do some power leveling there, and it sucks. So definitely throw a bunch into magicka as soon as possible. And then you don't really need health because you're either sneaking or you're a freaking vampire lord, so you do not need health all that much, I found. And then having some stamina there to help with just your sneak rolls and stuff, just maneuvering around when you need to, as well as some extra carry weight on the side is great. As for some spells, what am I saying? As for some quest lines, the Dawnguard is obvious. You're gonna kind of need that one if you want your vampire lord. Obviously run with the Castle Volkihar side, don't go with the Dawnguard. Other than that, the Dark Brotherhood I feel fits nicely. If you play through the Dark Brotherhood, it's actually a nice change from the classic dagger or bow. It's actually a really interesting way to play the Dark Brotherhood, is using magic if you haven't tried it before. So definitely give that a try if you haven't, as well as the College of Winterhold. That might help with any extra spells you might need, as well as just getting all the spells in general, because that's the easiest, most reliable place I've always found to get spells, and I'm sure you guys can all agree with me. Alright, well, it's already been 9 minutes. It always surprises me how quickly these videos go by, so I am not going to stick around for too much longer. I've got things to do, I've got renders to do, and I've got some Skyrim to play, because I'm certainly going to keep going with this build. If you guys have any other videos or build ideas that you want to see, let me know in the comments, or on Facebook, or on Twitter. I will have links to all of those in the description. And thank you all for watching yet again. It has been Chidane with the Night Stalker. Sorry, kind of went blank there for a second. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye.